Good morning, everybody. I want to share with us some very important lesson that I really want everybody to take away, because it will really determine your life going forward. A few days ago, I don't know if you saw it, a building collapsed, two-story building collapsed in Savage Lane. What's it called? Orile. So, yeah. When I saw the picture of that building, I remember that building like 15 years ago. And I remember that there used to be a pharmacy that was under that building like 15 years ago. And I remember years back then, when I was still doing my hustling and going from shop to shop to supply, that pharmacy was there. About 5 years ago, I went to that area again. The pharmacy was still there. It was almost like it was 10 years ago. Last year again, I went around that place. That pharmacy was still in the building, exactly this way it has been 15 years ago, until the building collapsed. And when the building collapsed, I asked myself, this pharmacy has been like this in this same building in the past 15 years. No change, no improvement. And I know that they would have expected to continue that way until the building collapsed. That got me thinking, how many people are working in settings, in area where in the last 5 years, they've not done anything to actively develop themselves. In the last 6 years, since you graduated, you've not done anything actively to say, you know what, I want to actively grow myself in this particular area. We go to work, we come back. The next day we wake up again, we go to work and we come back. And we fail to realize that time is just moving by. Time is passing. I used to celebrate what we've achieved here. But until recently, I looked at it and realized that it's no longer a relevant thing to celebrate, because we can't be celebrating the same thing over the last 5 years. And I needed to start to ask myself, which other active development plan do I need to start to put in place and actively pursue to grow in? Everybody must be deliberate in their self-development. Every business must be deliberate in their goal setting and pursuing that particular goal. I once remember watching a video by this guy, the chairman of Synox. He said that when immediately after he finished his service, that years back, decades ago, he made one resolve that every year he would try to acquire one landed property no matter what. And he just started it. He said, even if he doesn't have enough money in that particular year, even if he's in the interior of a particular place, he will just go there and buy any property so that we have one for that particular year. And when it now came time for him to start his business, by that time, that initial capital, those properties have multiplied. I was looking at somebody who was saying that they were, I don't know, some of you would have seen the video, that they want to buy a land and they were telling them that that particular property was worth 4 billion. As they were doing their due diligence on the property, they saw the receipt that the man used to buy that particular land. 250,000. My point is, if we don't start now to invest in what we are doing, if we don't start now to actively say in the next 12 months, because the year is coming to an end, and if I ask you now, between the you of January and the you of now that the year is ending, what significant difference would we say we can see in you between January and now? What extra value can you say you now carry that you didn't have in January of 2024, so that by January 2025, you can say, I have much value, so I'm added so much value in myself, so I deserve to earn more. Are you still carrying the same level of knowledge that you had in January, still February, March, April, May, June, up to December? And January, you come and start all over again. And if you guys are serious, if anybody is serious, you will realize that with the way, especially with the way technology is going, I shared something about on Upwork. By next year, most work that involve writing can easily be done by artificial intelligence technologies. Did you guys see the link I shared yesterday? Did you read it? If you have read that, what did it tell you? Princess?
The link I shared yesterday is an HR recruitment software.
So if that's link that links to their, according to them, to their AI software, assuming it can do all that is listed there, do you think that we'll still have a job in the recruitment space next year? Huh? Princess? If that thing can do everything there.
Yes, you cannot totally erase human factor.
China, do you think if that thing can do everything there, that we'll still have a job next year? What of you, Francis?
Yes, we still have a shot. Just that not everybody will be needed.
Because I want us, these changes that is happening, let's not be taking it for granted. There has to be a conscious effort for us to grow ourselves. There has to be a conscious effort for us to say, okay, I was here last year, but this is where I want to be next year. So in my career, I graduated as a pharmacist. I did pharmacy team for like 5-6 years. I say, see, with the level of way things are going, I don't see a future in it. I pivoted to something else. Started developing myself until went into management. First of all, into management itself, I was starting with the management. It was in the process. I said, okay, most of this company need staff recruitment. That was how HR came in. HR now came in, became a prominent aspect of it. And now I'm looking at the next 5 years. I'm seeing that this particular area, there's no future in it. And for most people, they will just be there doing what they are doing, just like that building, just like that pharmacy under that particular building in Orile. They will be there thinking that next year they will still be there, next 5 years. If you have told the person of that, the owner of that pharmacy, if you have told him like last month that he will wake up one day this week and he will have nothing anymore, would you have believed it? Because he has settled comfortably in what he was doing over the past, maybe let's say he was doing it 5 years before I came along, which means he had been doing it like that for the past 20 years. So in his mind, he will assume that he will continue doing it in the next 15-20 years again. Now he wakes up one day and overnight he has nothing. The same way too for every one of us here. The same way too for our company. The same way too for companies that we're consulting with. If we don't deliberately plan out the paths that we want to follow, deliberately say, okay, this is where the future is going to. This is where things are tending to. This is how I start to position myself. Even if I want to continue in the HR space, even if we want to continue in the HR space, what are we doing to even learn how these softwares that are being deployed, how do they work? Let's say AI now can even do all the interview process and it needs some human backup to support it. Do we have the technical skill to offer that support? I checked the online courses that you guys are taking, and it looks as if I'm forcing you guys to develop yourself. Some of you just, go to the questions, tick, so it look as if you did something. And you feel that you are being sharp. Without knowing that, if, for instance, we just decide, you know what, this HR thing is not working again, let's go into AI consulting. And it's okay, in area of business intelligence. Princess, you've taken several courses in business intelligence. Oh yeah, how can you bring it to this new space? You now ask yourself, those courses, did I take them seriously or did I just do them for doing sake? This is something that everybody needs to sit up. Any business owner needs to sit up. In the next 5 years, more jobs will be created. Much more jobs will be created. If in worldwide now we have about, let's say in Nigeria, for instance, we have about, let's call it 50 million jobs in Nigeria, for instance. I'm sure in the next 5 years, we'll have an extra 20 to 30 million jobs. But then out of that, let's say we now have, by the next 5 years, we'll have 80 million jobs. Out of it, almost all of them will be new industry created jobs. Because why would I need a HR manager if my ChatGPT can do that for me?